My name is Tatiana Berman, and you are watching the Cincinnati Renaissance Project.
Got to the opportunity to create a professional soccer team. That came from me coaching my kids and being the president, volunteer president of one of the big youth clubs in town, traveling over the United States and just seeing how soccer was becoming a big deal. And then I went back and looked at my NFL data that we would get every year, and you could see the US sports pyramid where the NFL is at the top. But you had to look past it to go, 10 years ago soccer wasn't on this pyramid,
right.
And now it's near the top.
Yeah.
My hometown pride kicked in, and I just said, well, if soccer's the next big sport and we're a major league city, I want to make sure we have a major league soccer team here in Cincinnati, and I'm going to start one. Fast-paced sport. It was only 2 hours long, so that sort of fit their attention span and their lifestyle. And it just seemed that Cincinnati had enough strength in the business community that we were bringing those millennials who love soccer, and I could see it in the data. We need more people moving here and calling Cincinnati their home. Our generation, this millennial generation, they are building, they are creating, they are leading this movement that is professional soccer in Cincinnati, Ohio.
I really love it here, and I saw so much opportunity here, like a frontier, like that was untouched by, big city. I couldn't do what I'm doing here in San Francisco right now. I mean, I could, but I would probably have one place and it would be hard, But here in Cincinnati, we have 52 neighborhoods that are growing at the same time. It's funny, I don't even want to tell people because it's so cool. Like, I don't want to tell people. I don't want anybody to screw it up. The future for the city, we're going to see a lot more people start to take notice of what Cincinnati is. But we still have a lot of work to do.
How did I become a musician?
Yeah, like what happened there?
My father played the organ when he was a kid and grew to love classical music, and classical music was the only music in the house. It was playing kind of all the time, and I liked it, and so my parents started me with piano lessons when I was 6. Then I started violin. We had violin in the public schools when I was 9, and I started violin then and played. I haven't stopped, I guess. When I was young, I was introduced by my violin teacher to Glenn Gould, and the fact that he was brave enough to say, I'm going to quit playing concerts and just make my living recording at a time when this was absolutely unheard of was really important to me, because I was still playing both violin and piano and people were saying this is never going to work. So it's important for me to have something to look at and say, well, they said this would never work and it worked out really well. It's inconceivable that it's still an issue for people to only know people from other cultures through television and media. The more human contact that people have with others from other races, cultures, backgrounds, the more that the barriers and prejudices that they have about them break down.
That is very important.
The thing that I am, outside of what I do in music and arts in my family, the thing that I think about the most is smoking meat.
It feels like in Cincinnati, you can do anything. There's an amazing community of people that will support you. There's a lot of artists here, and I feel like there's a really vibrant, thriving art community here. So Brazy Street Studios, it houses 30 artists in an old factory that used to make parts. And so when we found it, it was an acre of land in the middle of Oakley that it was just sitting there. We could not have ever afforded to do something like this in a bigger city. I have seen people, yes, definitely flourish. Some of them are showing nationally now, which is really exciting to see that happen. Some of them, it's a second career for them, which is spectacular to watch.
I started med school thinking of something surgical or something very hands-on, and that was going to be my path, and then just through the experiences there decided to work with kids. Subsequently got married, experience of reading to our daughters, and then really come to understand the importance of parents and kids reading together for healthy development. Reading is often thought of as a cognitive skill. It's all about the mechanics of readings, but also for social and emotional health. We were driving through Oakley, and because I-71 was blocked, and we happened to go by this little bookstore that was going out of business, which was then called the Blue Marble. And it was 3 days from closing. We walked in, we said, what's going to happen to this wonderful store? So we decided to take it on. We literally signed a contract in green crayon and said, we'll give it a shot. And we had the time, we had the energy, we had the, some degree of skills, and we had this wonderful, diamond in the rough called Oakley. And subsequently changed it to Blue Manatee. It's a little store, it's always challenging. You can buy books online, but that real nurturing, hands-on, hold my hand, let's go into the store and read it and have an experience is powerful, and that can't be reproduced online. Sandy and I've always loved to garden. Years ago, got very interested in native plants. And I think that originated because we loved certain kinds of butterflies, and those depend on the plants that are native to their area. And from that, just almost became kind of butterfly and bee geeks in a way. And so that sort of laid a foundation for that aspect of Sleepy Bee.
We couldn't go out to breakfast because we wanted a local egg and we wanted maple syrup, and we couldn't believe we were in Ohio and you couldn't get maple syrup anywhere on the menu. So we said, by the time we're 50, we're going to open a breakfast lunch restaurant. We source as much locally as we possibly can. We wanted a place that we could take our 3 daughters, and we were like, well, do you think other people want to go there too?
It's extremely important to me that the health aspect be right. As a pediatrician, it's extremely important to Sandy that the art on the walls all be by local artists. It's all real. And it's important to our chef that everything tastes delicious. We want everything to really be genuine and meaningful.